Japan doesn't just create home products, it creates them so well that experiencing one for the first time makes you immediately wonder how you lived without it. A cast iron pan with spherical molds that makes everything from Japanese takoyaki to donut holes and cheese-stuffed bites right at the dining table. Japanese cypress accessories that fill the shower with a warm woodland scent the moment water touches them. And a compact machine that pounds steamed rice into fresh mochi on demand. These aren't novelties. They're genuinely amazing products that Japanese homes treat as standard and that foreigners consistently wish they could take home with them. Today, we're counting down 25 amazing Japanese home ideas foreigners wish they had. Watch until the end because number 25, the personal steam sauna pod, might be the single most impressive home wellness product Japan has ever produced. Number 1. The Takoyaki pan. Takoyaki are savory batter balls with a piece of octopus inside, a crispy outer shell, and a molten interior that have become one of Japan's most iconic casual foods. The specific texture and structure is only possible because of the spherical mold. The takoyaki pan, available in cast iron stovetop and plug-in electric versions, is a standard home item in Japanese kitchens. You pour batter into each mold, add your filling, and rotate each ball using a skewer as the outside sets, building the sphere from the inside out. Topped with Japanese mayonnaise, sauce, bonito flakes, and dried seaweed, freshly made home takoyaki is an experience that foreigners encounter once and immediately start searching for where to buy the pan. The takoyaki pan can also use the same molds for donut holes, cheese-stuffed meatballs, and chocolate lava bites, making it one of the most versatile small pans in any kitchen. Number 2. Hinoki wood bathroom sets. Japanese cypress, known as hinoki, is one of the most distinctive materials in Japanese home life. Walk into a traditional Japanese bathhouse, and the warm, clean, slightly sweet scent filling the space is hinoki. The wood releases it naturally and intensifies the moment warm water touches the surface. A hinoki bathroom set typically includes a bath mat, a wooden bucket for rinsing, a soap dish, and a bath bench. The wood is naturally resistant to moisture and bacteria, handles the wet bathroom environment better than most wood types, and ages with a character that becomes something beautiful rather than something that deteriorates. You're not just buying a bath mat, you're bringing the specific sensory experience of a Japanese onsen into your own bathroom. The warmth underfoot, the fragrance rising with the steam, the feeling that the room is doing something for you rather than just surrounding you. Foreigners who discover hinoki products want every single one. Number 3. The Hario V60 pour-over. The Hario V60 is a Japanese-designed ceramic or glass pour-over cone that produces filter coffee through a specific combination of spiral interior ribs and a single large hole at the base, giving the brewer precise control over flow rate and extraction that no automatic drip machine can replicate. Hario is a Japanese company, and the V60 became a global standard for specialty coffee brewing, used by professional baristas and home enthusiasts in equal measure. The difference between a V60 pour-over and any automatic drip machine is immediately clear in the cup. Clarity, brightness, and a complexity of flavor that the filter and pour technique unlocks. Coffee culture in Japan is serious, precise, and home-focused. The V60 is the result of that culture meeting manufacturing that Japan does exceptionally well. Every serious home coffee drinker who encounters the V60 ends up with one on their counter. There is no going back once you understand what it produces. If you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and tap like. It tells YouTube you want more of Japan's clever, everyday innovations. And if you love discovering things you didn't even know existed, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this list. Trust me, the next ones are even cooler. Number 4. The Home Mochi Maker. Fresh mochi has a texture that nothing from a packet comes close to. The specific chewiness, the slight elasticity, the way it tears rather than breaks, all of it comes from physically pounding and kneading glutinous rice until the grain structure breaks down completely into a smooth, stretchy mass. Traditionally, this required a wooden mortar, a heavy mallet, and 2 people working together. Japan built a machine for it. Home mochi makers take steamed glutinous rice through an automated kneading and mixing process that produces fresh mochi in under 30 minutes. You add rice, you add water, you press the button. What comes out is something foreigners encounter in Japan, spend the rest of the trip eating, and then spend months trying to find an equivalent for back home. It doesn't exist back home. The machine exists in Japan, and the fresh mochi it makes is the reason every foreigner who discovers it immediately wants one. Number 5. Japanese rain chains. Most homes route rainwater from the roof to the ground through a closed plastic downpipe that does the job functionally and adds nothing to the exterior it runs down. Japan replaces it with something else entirely. A rain chain is a hanging chain of cups, rings, or decorative forms that channels water visibly and audibly from the roof to a collection point at the base. As rain falls, water cascades from cup to cup in a continuous flowing movement you can see from the street, hear from inside the house, and watch from the garden. During heavy rain, the effect is genuinely stunning. Water moves down the entire chain simultaneously, turning a roofing function into something that looks deliberately designed. Foreigners who see a rain chain working for the first time want to know what it is and immediately want to know where to buy one. Both answers are very easy to find. And once you've seen your house in the rain with one installed, the plain downpipe it replaced is very difficult to justify. Number 6. The Murphy Sofa Bed. The Murphy bed, a mattress that folds into a wall unit, has existed in various forms for over a century. The Japanese version takes it considerably further by integrating a full sofa into the same wall panel. During the day, the wall unit presents a sofa facing into the room. When it's time to sleep, the sofa pivots or slides clear, and the bed panel descends to reveal a full mattress in the same footprint. The room is a living room during the day and a bedroom at night with a single controlled motion. Japanese apartment design built this solution because the alternative, a separate bedroom and living room in a small home, simply isn't always possible. The Murphy sofa bed is what happens when spatial efficiency gets taken seriously enough to produce furniture that does two jobs completely, rather than compromising on both. Foreigners in small homes or apartments who discover this immediately understand why Japan built it and immediately wish they had one. Number 7. Indoor hydroponic herb gardens. Fresh herbs make a significant difference to daily cooking. They also go off within days of purchase, cost considerably per small bunch from the supermarket, and require outdoor space or a reliable windowsill to grow at home. Japan built a countertop solution. Indoor LED hydroponic herb growing units sit on the kitchen counter and produce a continuous supply of basil, mint, coriander, chives, and other herbs in water rather than soil, under purpose-built grow lights running on a timer. Panasonic's Green Farm and similar Japanese brands produce compact units designed for the kitchen space they occupy. You harvest what you need directly into whatever you're cooking. The plant keeps growing. No soil on the counter, no wilting bunches in the fridge, no trip to the supermarket for one herb. Fresh herbs on demand from a countertop unit in any season, from a kitchen of any size. Foreigners who see these units want them immediately and consistently. Number 8. The Tatami Platform Bed. A platform bed incorporating traditional tatami panels as the sleeping surface combines one of Japan's oldest domestic materials with a modern piece of bedroom furniture. The result is a bed that looks distinctly Japanese, functions as a storage system, and sleeps differently from a standard sprung mattress. The platform base typically contains pull-out drawers using the full depth of the raised floor height, converting the space beneath the sleeping surface into organized, accessible storage rather than dead space. The tatami panels themselves provide natural breathability, a slight give under sleep, and the clean, grassy scent that anyone who has spent time in a Japanese tatami room recognizes immediately. Foreign visitors who sleep on a tatami bed for the first time describe the combination of the material, the scent, and the sleeping level as one of the most distinctive sleep experiences they've had. Most of them then try to find where to buy one. Most of them can't, which is exactly why it appears on this list. Number 9. Japanese Whetstone knife systems. Most Western home cooks sharpen their knives with a pull-through sharpener that removes metal from both sides of the blade simultaneously with a fixed abrasive. It takes 10 seconds and produces an edge. Japan treats that edge as a starting point. Japanese home whetstone systems use a 2 or 3 stone progression from coarse to finishing stone, held level over a sink on a bamboo stand, with the blade drawn at a specific angle across each surface. The process takes 10 to 15 minutes and produces an edge of a sharpness level that a pull-through device is structurally incapable of achieving. A properly sharpened knife changes daily cooking. The difference between a knife maintained to a Japanese home standard and one maintained to a Western home standard is immediately apparent in everything you cut. Foreigners who discover what a home whetstone system produces on a kitchen knife never go back to the pull-through sharpener on the counter. Number 10. Automated curtain motor systems. Getting out of a warm bed to open curtains is a small daily ritual that almost everyone would prefer to skip. Keeping curtains closed until you physically reach the window means the room stays dark while you're already in it. Neither option is particularly satisfying when an alternative exists. Japanese automated curtain motors, including widely sold systems from brands like SwitchBot, clip directly onto an existing curtain rail without modification and draw the curtains open or closed on a timer, remote control, or voice command. You set them to open at sunrise. You never touch the curtains again. The installation takes minutes. The motor runs on batteries or USB power. The existing curtains stay exactly where they are. Foreigners who discover these systems typically spend about 3 minutes on the product page before purchasing. The appeal of curtains that open themselves at the time you set, without any structural modification to the home, requires almost no explanation. Number 11. Zojirushi vacuum tumblers. The specific problem of a hot drink going cold before you finish it is one that most people solve by drinking faster, reheating repeatedly, or accepting that the last third of every coffee is lukewarm at best. Japan solved it with the vacuum tumbler. Zojirushi and Tiger produce stainless steel vacuum-insulated tumblers that use multi-layer vacuum technology refined over decades to keep hot drinks genuinely hot for 6 hours and cold drinks cold for up to 10. Not warm, not cool. Hot and cold in the way the drink was supposed to be. The engineering precision in Japanese vacuum insulation consistently outperforms equivalent Western products at the same price point. People who receive a Zojirushi tumbler as a gift and use it for the first time are typically surprised enough to immediately look up how many they can buy. Foreigners who pick one up in Japan consistently describe it as one of the best practical purchases of the trip. Then they go back and buy more. Number 12. Compact countertop dishwashers. The dishwasher is a standard feature of most Western kitchens. It requires permanent installation under the counter, a plumbing connection, and a kitchen with enough space to accommodate a built-in unit. For small apartments, rented homes, and compact kitchens without the necessary infrastructure, most countries offer one answer: you wash by hand. Japan developed a different answer. Compact countertop dishwashers led by the Panasonic NP series sit on the kitchen counter, connect to the existing tap with an attachment, and drain into the sink. No permanent installation, no under-counter space, no plumber. A full set of dishes for 2 to 3 people washes in a single cycle while you do something else. Foreigners in small homes who discover that a dishwasher has been available for their kitchen this entire time, and they simply didn't know about the countertop version, tend to have a very specific reaction. They buy one immediately. Number 13. Japanese pickling containers. Japanese pickles are made from vegetables pressed with salt, rice bran, vinegar, or other seasonings, and compressed until they soften and absorb the flavor. The specific container used makes the process both simple and consistent. Japanese pickling containers have an internal press plate and a screw-down or spring-loaded lid that applies downward pressure across the entire surface of the vegetables inside. You pack in the vegetables, add your seasoning, press down the plate, and leave it. In some cases, edible pickles are ready in under an hour. Most foreigners who discover tsukemono during a trip to Japan spend the rest of the visit eating them at every opportunity, then try to make them at home, then discover that the specific container makes everything significantly easier. Fresh homemade pickles are a daily staple in Japanese homes. The equipment is simple, inexpensive, and one of those things you wonder how you cooked without once you actually have it on your counter. Number 14. Wall-mounted infrared gas heaters. Rinnai's wall-mounted gas infrared heaters direct radiant heat across a room from a fixed wall position. Infrared heats surfaces and people directly the way sunlight does, rather than warming the air and relying on that warm air to reach you. The practical difference is noticeable. The room feels warm faster than convection heating produces. The warmth feels more like being in sun than being in heated air. And because the heater is wall-mounted, the floor stays completely clear. Western alternatives, plug-in electric fan heaters, oil-filled radiators, freestanding convection units all take up floor space and heat the air, rather than the room's occupants directly. The infrared wall-mounted approach produces more comfortable warmth in less time from a fixture that occupies no floor space whatsoever. Foreigners who experience Rinnai infrared heating for the first time in a Japanese home consistently ask where it's available in their own country. The answer is usually either nowhere or very difficult to find. Number 15. Compact countertop ice makers. Managing ice at home in most Western kitchens involves filling a tray the night before and hoping you remembered. You run out of ice, it takes hours to make more, and the solution is either planning well in advance or going without. Japanese compact countertop ice makers fill a reservoir with water, press a button, and produce ice in 10 to 15 minutes without any connection to a water line or freezer. The unit sits on the counter and makes ice on demand whenever it's needed. These are widely available at Japanese home stores and treated as standard kitchen appliances rather than party equipment. Foreigners who discover that a machine making ice in 15 minutes from a countertop, without installation, without a water line, without fitting into a freezer, has been a standard Japanese kitchen item for years tend to find the information difficult to process before buying one immediately. Number 16. The Japanese Tetsubin kettle. The Tetsubin is a cast iron kettle handcrafted in Iwate Prefecture, where the Nambu ironware tradition dates back over 400 years, now recognized as a UNESCO traditional craft. It looks different from any other kettle because it is fundamentally different from any other kettle. As water heats inside the Tetsubin, the iron surface gradually enriches it with dissolved minerals, producing a softer, rounder flavor that changes how tea and coffee taste compared to water boiled in a steel or plastic kettle. The effect builds over time as the interior develops a mineral patina from regular use. The Tetsubin is also an object of genuine beauty. The textured cast iron surface, The traditional designs embossed on the exterior and the way it looks on a kitchen counter set it apart from everything around it. Foreigners who encounter a Tetsubin and taste the water it produces go looking for where to buy one before the cup is finished. Number 17. The Kakigori shaved ice machine. The difference between Kakigori and Western shaved ice comes down to the mechanism. Western ice shavers crush or chip ice into irregular fragments that melt quickly, pool at the bottom of the cup, and leave the top layer dry while the base turns to liquid. Japanese Kakigori machines use a rotating blade that shaves ice into fine, uniform, snow-like layers with a consistency that absorbs flavored syrups evenly, all the way through rather than letting them drain to the base. The result is a texture that holds together, stays cold longer, and tastes completely different from crushed ice desserts. Home versions by brands including Doshisha are popular summer purchases in Japan, widely available, and simple to operate. Foreigners who eat real kakigori in Japan and then try to explain the texture to people who haven't experienced it struggle because there is genuinely nothing comparable in Western ice dessert culture to point to as a reference. Number 18. Japanese air circulator fans. Standard desk fans and pedestal fans move air in a wide, shallow pattern that cools the area directly in front of them, without significantly affecting the rest of the room. Useful in the immediate vicinity and limited everywhere else. Japanese air circulator fans work on a different principle. Rather than producing a wide, oscillating breeze, a circulator projects a focused, powerful column of air in one direction across the full length of the room. That column creates a continuous circulation that draws surrounding air into the moving current, gradually mixing the room's entire air mass, rather than just moving what's immediately in front of the unit. Used alongside air conditioning, the circulator distributes cooled air throughout the room significantly faster, reducing the energy required to reach a consistent temperature. Balmuda and Iris Oyama produce the most popular Japanese models. Foreigners who understand what a circulator actually does compared to a standard fan want one in every room they heat or cool. Number 19. Under staircase pull-out storage. The space beneath the staircase is one of the most consistently wasted structural volumes in any multi-story home. It's often left hollow, used as a single awkward cupboard with a sloped ceiling, or fitted with fixed shelving that makes items at the back largely inaccessible. Japan builds pull-out drawer systems into the staircase itself. Each step tread corresponds to a drawer of increasing depth that slides out to reveal a full storage compartment. The entire underside of the staircase, every step, every tread, becomes functional, accessible storage without any addition to the visual footprint of the home. The stairs look exactly like stairs. The storage is invisible until a drawer opens. Foreigners who see this solution applied to a staircase they personally walk past every day immediately look at their own staircase differently. The dead space sitting beneath it since the house was built could have been doing this the entire time. That realization tends to be a difficult one to move past quickly. Number 20. The miniature Zen sand garden. The Karesansui is a Japanese rock garden tradition in which carefully placed stones and raked gravel represent water, islands, and natural landscapes in miniature. In large form, it's a defining feature of Japanese temple grounds. In miniature, it sits on a desk or coffee table and serves a different but related purpose. The desktop Zen garden is a shallow tray of fine white sand with small stones and a wooden rake. You drag the rake through the sand slowly, forming concentric circles, parallel lines, or whatever pattern the moment produces. The physical repetition is meditative in a way that is difficult to explain until you've sat with one for 5 minutes. Japan treats it as a daily focus tool rather than a decorative object. Foreigners who encounter a miniature Zen garden in a Japanese home and pick up the rake rarely put it down quickly. Most of them want to know where to get one before they leave the room. Number 21. Bookshelf room dividers. The open plan space has one persistent problem. Everything happens in the same visual field simultaneously. The desk you're working at exists in the same view as the sofa you're trying to relax on. The kitchen shares the same room as the space you want a quiet conversation in. Japan uses freestanding double-sided bookshelves to divide a single space into two functional zones without permanent walls. The shelf is accessible from both sides, stores objects on each face, and creates a visual and psychological separation between the two areas it divides. No drilling, no plastering, no planning permission. If the layout needs to change, the shelf moves. Foreigners in studio apartments, small homes, or open-plan spaces who discover that a bookshelf can function as a wall, look good from both sides, provide storage on both faces, and move whenever the room needs something different, wonder why this wasn't the obvious solution before now. Number 22. The bamboo water feature. The shishiodoshi is a pivoting bamboo tube that fills gradually with water from a continuous stream, tips forward when the weight exceeds the balance point, empties with a sharp clack against a stone, and returns to its original position to begin filling again. The cycle repeats indefinitely. The sound it makes, that single sharp knock at irregular intervals, is one of the most distinctive sounds associated with the Japanese garden. It's calm in a very specific way that is difficult to replicate through any other means. In traditional Japanese garden design, the shishi-odoshi served a practical purpose, scaring wildlife away from garden plants. In modern Japanese gardens, it's there for the atmosphere, the sound, and the visual movement of water it produces. Foreigners who encounter one in a Japanese garden and stand listening for a few minutes consistently want to know how to install one at home. The answer is that it's considerably easier than it looks. Number 23. UV entry sanitizer stations. The Japanese genkan is already a hygiene transition point between the outside world and the home interior. UV entry sanitizer stations extend that transition with a wall-mounted unit combining a motion-activated hand sanitizer dispenser and an ultraviolet light chamber where items brought in from outside, phones, keys, wallets, and bags, can be briefly exposed to UV light for surface sanitization. These became significantly more common in Japanese homes during and after the pandemic and have remained as a permanent genkan feature in many households, reflecting Japan's broader cultural emphasis on managing what enters the home from outside. The unit occupies wall space beside the entrance, activates automatically when hands pass beneath the sensor, and treats whatever is placed in the UV chamber without any manual process. Foreigners who understand Japan's approach to the genkan as a genuine hygiene barrier, rather than simply a place to remove shoes, see this product as the logical extension of that philosophy. Number 24. Japanese paper lantern lights. The quality of light that Japanese washi paper produces when wrapped around a bulb is unlike any other domestic light source. The paper diffuses completely, producing an even glowing warmth with no visible source, no harsh point of brightness, and no shadow that a standard shade or a bare bulb creates. Isamu Noguchi's Akari collection of Japanese paper lanterns has been produced since 1951 and distributed globally for most of that time. They are among the most recognized Japanese design objects in the world. A paper lantern in a room changes the atmosphere in a way that is immediately apparent and very difficult to replicate with any other fitting. The light is warm even and completely without the artificial quality of most electric light sources at night. Foreigners who spend an evening in a Japanese home lit by paper lanterns and then return to their own ceiling fitting often find themselves looking for the exact lantern they sat under. Number 25. The personal steam sauna pod. A private sauna at home is not something most Western homes can offer. A built-in sauna requires a dedicated room, significant installation, and a budget and footprint that most homes simply don't have. Japan built a home version that requires none of those things. Personal steam sauna pods are compact fabric or rigid enclosures that you sit inside, while a steam generator fills the interior with heat and moisture. Your head remains outside. The body soaks in steam heat at a temperature equivalent to a proper sauna session for as long as you choose. When you're done, the unit folds flat for storage. Brands including Room Spa and Iris Ohiyama make popular models widely available in Japan. Setup takes minutes. The session takes as long as you want. Packing away takes seconds. Foreigners who discover that a genuine steam sauna session at home is available from a unit that stores in a cupboard consistently identify it as the single Japanese home product they most wish they had immediate access to. If you want to see more amazing things Japan is doing better than the rest of the world, then like and subscribe. And make sure to watch the video on your end screen. It's packed with even more amazing Japanese home ideas.